asking questions of the candidates, and we just ask that everybody respect everything that's being said. Please do not have any loud comments. We're here to do our civil duties so that everybody can make an informed decision when it comes time to voting. And so we haven't done this for a while, but we really wanted to bring it back so that our community, since our representatives are representing the community, that we can all hear the same message. So, to get started. Oh, and so we're going to be asking questions, but this is not a debate. There's not going to be rebuttals, but they will be answering the same or similar questions. Okay. And then.
So you want to just give them the mic and we'll do the 2-minute introductions down the road.
And then Jana has the timer.
Thanks, your introduction.
Yay!
Not Vanna Day. Yeah.
So
It's the camera.
we're going to start with introductions. So you each have 2 minutes to introduce yourself, kind of tell us a little bit about why you're running, and it's up to you. You just say what you want for 2 minutes. So
We'll start at that and go down to that.
we'll start with Kyle
Sweet, thanks.
There we go.
and go down the line.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for being here. I hate sitting down, so I'm gonna kind of walk around and kind of talk to everybody. So this is the time where I get to do my least favorite thing, and I just talk about myself. First of all, thank you to the Chamber for putting this all together, getting us up here. I think Katie said something like, it's not always easy to be up here. It's never easy, just so you know. So I really enjoy seeing all of the faces here and all of your faces up there as well. So thank you for putting all this together. So I'm Kyle Fisher. I'm neither one of them. I thought my picture might be up there.
It's rotating.
It's rotating.
It's rotating.
Okay, let me know when it gets up there. So I've lived in town for probably about 35 years. I have 2 children and a wife here. Welcome.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Great.
I'm running for the 3rd position, so this would be my 2nd term. My 1st term just ended. I never saw myself in on this kind of path. This isn't something that I was like, oh, I want to become a council member. I want to get involved in local government. But it just kind of worked out that way. I was involved with the Boys and Girls Club. I was involved with our neighborhood, and then the Planning Commission for 6 years. And then I just kind of decided, I want to try and become a policymaker for the city. There's a couple of things that I'm interested in and things that I would like to change. A lot of great people were on council at that time, so I figured I would probably just give this a go. So here I am. We've got some great things coming up, and I'm really, really excited to run for this 2nd position or the 2nd term. I do not have an opponent. It's kind of a shame. Sometimes I wish I did. I would like to see more people wanting to get involved in small town politics. But here I am, unopposed. I'll take it, and we'll move on to the next person. Again, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, Kyle's always a tough act to follow, but hello everyone, thank you for coming here this evening. It's great to see so many people engaged out in the audience, showing up just to learn a little bit more about us as candidates, and a huge thank you to the Chamber, obviously, for putting us on. It's just an honor to be here to be able to answer questions. My name is Molly Barnes. I am currently on the Monroe School Board. I'm the school board director for District 3. So I am a mom of 3 students in this district. My oldest is going to be doing basketball and golf up at the high school, and my youngest is 9 years old, so I always tell people I kind of live in a fraternity with my 3 boys at home, and my husband being the only girl. But it's been an honor to serve on this board for the last 4 years, being able to engage with families, students, staff, and community members, receiving so many valuable feedback, input, just all of it. It has been a joy to create relationships and for all of us to be able to come together to work on making the Monroe School Board, the Monroe School District, the best that it can be. Some of the things that we've been able to accomplish together are putting together a 5-year strategic plan for the first time in over a decade. We've hired a new superintendent. Our state testing scores are on the rise. Attendance is improving dramatically. We're now 3rd in the county for attendance. Belonging is improving across our schools. And we're just seeing a lot of amazing things that are happening. But all of this would not have been possible without you. Without the collaboration and the investment that all of you had put forward, we would not be where we are today, because it truly takes all of us. It is nothing that just a single person, myself, can accomplish standing here. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the next 4 years look like, seeing what we can continue to accomplish together to continue to improve this district, so that we can ensure that every student can succeed with the education that they receive. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. Oops, what do I need to do here? Push it, am I out?
Doesn't start
Up
until she
goes the
starts
green.
talking.
I'm trying, I'm stopping.
Jana,
Am I
don't
early?
forget to look at the second.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay.
She's been doing it.
Am I ready?
There
you go.
That was hot.
That's a hot mic.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so Kyle and Molly, well done. Tough acts to follow, obviously. Yes, thank you for being here. We really appreciate having this forum to tell you a little bit about ourselves and what our goals are for the next 4 years. I also am finishing up my first term as a council member on position 2, and looking forward to another 4 years. I also am running unopposed. That doesn't mean I take for granted my role with the city. Planning to get out and do some doorbelling between now and the election date, and really have enjoyed the last 4 years making some decisions that I hope have made the city a better place for everyone. A little bit about me. I have lived in Monroe since about 2005. I started off moving to town thinking this was a great place to live and asking, what can I do to give back? So my very first role with the city was on the Monroe Library Board, which now no longer exists, appointed by former Mayor Donetta Walzer. And from there I went on to the Parks Board for 8 years and served on the initial EDAB, which is our Economic Development Advisory Board, and was also part of the group that came up with the Imagine Monroe statement. I'm very proud of that statement, and I use those words to guide me in making decisions for the city. Very happy to serve. My son graduated in 2013 from MHS, so I'm a Bearcat parent, and really enjoy being here, and really looking forward to getting to know some of you, talking with you. I've had a great time engaging with people over the last 4 years and hearing what matters to you about Monroe. So I think I'm out of time. Thank you so much.
Good evening. I'm Heather Fulcher. I'm running for mayor. I have lived in Monroe since, 1972. Actually, I'm a 5th generation Monrovian, so I have known no other place as my home except for here. And to serve the city in the capacity that I'm currently in city council has been just an honor. Before I was on city council, I was a groupie at City Hall every Tuesday night. And for those who were on the council at that time, you were probably wondering, what is she going to do? But I finally decided to run for council, and then during that time I also served on the Economic Development Advisory Board as well, and something else, Planning Commission for 2 years. How could I forget? Sorry. Anyway, I am a small business owner. I'm a Monroe fan, and out of all the things that I want to do in my life, I want to say that Monroe ran well while I was at the helm. And I have been a part of the best council ever of the last 2 years, and I look forward to working with them in the future. So, thank you.
Good evening. I'm Kevin Hanford. I'm running for position 1. My wife Julie's here with me. We've been married for 34 and a half years. We have 7 kids that range from 17 and a half, so we're almost to 18, all the way up to 32, and all have attended almost every school in Monroe, actually, come to think of it, both private and public. So we moved to the Monroe area in 1993, and so we've been in this area since then. Been within the actual city limits, I think, since 2009. But I was always involved in the community and never contemplated politics at all. It just wasn't even in my realm of thought, kind of like what you said, Kyle. And one day a couple friends came up and suggested that I put my name in the hat for some openings that were coming up on council. So I did that, and I got interviewed. Actually, Councilor McCudback was on the council with me at that time. I was interviewed, did not get appointed to the absentee position, but ran for election and then won that first election. And that was 2011, so this will be the end of my 14th year coming up here. And so people ask me, why do you keep running? Like, what's the purpose? Like, why do you keep throwing your name in the hat? And I absolutely love the council, and it just seems like we continue to get a better and better group. And I concur that this has been one of the best councils that I've ever been a part of, and I want to continue to do that. And I love my community. I look forward to Tuesday nights, and yeah, it's something I want to continue doing. So that's it. Thanks.
Good evening. I'm Patsy Cuddeback, and I appreciate what the Chamber is doing in putting this on. I think the last time I participated in a Chamber forum was 2009, so it's been a while. I am a graduate of Washington State, go Cougs. My husband is a Husky, so if there's any Huskies in the house, we're a split family. I'm also a graduate of Seattle U School of Law, so I am an attorney. I have my law degree. I've worked 27 years in the Y of Snohomish County, and since 2018, I've been the Chief Operating Officer of the Y, and so I supervise all the Ys throughout the whole county. And what I'm really proud of is during the pandemic, when we had to shut down, I was responsible for leading that organization out of the pandemic, and we have grown from a $23 million association to 44, so I know what that takes to lead in a challenging situation. Locally, when I first came here, I was on Chamber, I was on Rotary, I was on so many different groups, and then I decided to run for City Council. It was my honor to serve City Council for 12 years, and while I was on there, I served on the Community Transit Board, Finance Committee, Public Parks Committee, Snohomish County Health District Committee, so I have a lot of experience throughout the county serving on many different organizations. On a personal note, I spend my time volunteered at Miracle League for my kids' school, Montessori, Maltby, constantly I was that soccer mom doing the snacks, so it really, I have a servant heart. I want to lead, I want to do the best I can for the community. I've lived here for over 22 years, been married 26 years, 2 kids, one in college, one just graduated from Western Washington University. So thank you for being here tonight. Really appreciate your time.
Okay, hi. Yeah, that is a hot mic. So thank you everybody for being here. This is the most relaxed looking audience I think I've ever spoken to. And I am jealous because you got the comfy chairs. My name is Heather Young, and I am running for school board. I have never done anything like this before, but I have done a lot of interesting things. I am a disabled U.S. Army veteran. I was a linguist for the military. I also retired after a couple of decades in tech. I was at Microsoft. When I left, I was the global director of anti-piracy, responsible for $4 billion in annual revenue. Oh, less hot mic, there it goes. And then I was recruited to go to Google to run their software asset management globally. So all of the software that was used anywhere by Google internally, my team was responsible for buying it, deploying it, counting it, managing it, all that good stuff. So I actually got to negotiate the Microsoft agreement for Google, which was kind of weird. But anyway, so I am, I call myself a legal nerd because even though I'm not an attorney, I've spent many, many years doing contract negotiation. I'm also the very proud parent of 2 boys who have disabilities, and both either are in or have recently graduated from the Monroe School District. And so when you have a student who is on an IEP, you spend a lot of time working with the district. And I think that in the coming years, we've seen the benefit of the fresh blood with bringing in the new superintendent. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. Some of you know me but might not recognize me. My name's Brandy Blair, and up until last week, I had blonde dreadlocks, and so I see some people saying, "Oh, now I know who that is." I'm currently I'm running for Monroe City Council position 7, and I'm also unopposed. And unlike Kyle, I'm very glad that I'm unopposed because this is my first time running, so it makes it a lot less stressful for me. I'm running because I do love Monroe, and a lot of people care about Monroe. You can see that when you go to meetings or you talk to people or you see how people keep up their yards or their businesses. And so I want to help continue to facilitate that and the passion that people have for the community. I'm approachable and I like to go to future forward solutions. So if people would like to bring anything to me, I'm really receptive to that. And I'm looking forward to my first term. My history, I've also lived in Monroe my whole life, so I've seen the changes and the growth. I currently work at the prison in Monroe for the state of Washington. I've worked there for 25 years. I'm known as someone who's a good collaborator and a leader there of our 1,500 staff. I'm currently on the Planning Commission for the City of Monroe, and we just got through updating our comp plan. I'm familiar with our codes and ordinances and how that stuff works. Yeah, I'm just excited to be here, and thanks everyone.
Sure. Once they get this thing figured out. Hold on. Dang.
Good job, everyone.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. So we're going to start
Still wanna do
with
that
the
big
first.
thing or what?
First question is going to be for school board members, candidates, not school board members, but candidates. Since Brandy was the last one to go, I'm going to start with you, Heather. The question is, how will you address budget shortfalls without impacting essential student programs?
And just before you answer that, I want to say, don't worry about the timer starting. You need to take a second and go, okay, I'm ready. It isn't going to start until you speak, okay?
And you can ask for a repeat question.
And I'm going to stay seated for this one just because it's hard for me to say.
You all stay seated.
Okay. So I think that when we are making budget decisions, it's critical that we keep the money closest to the students. We need to make sure that that we keep the students centered in all of the decisions that we're making, so that we can ensure that there's no disruptions to the learning and there's no disruptions to their experiences. I think one of the things that I was surprised to learn when I started on the budget committee 3 years ago was that we don't have anybody in the district that is writing grants full-time, and that's a missed opportunity. So I think, that would be one of the first things that I would look to understand is that something that we can make happen to avoid those shortfalls? And then I think that the cuts need to come from the admin, truthfully.
Thank you. Ollie, same question. Do you need me to repeat it?
No, I think I got it perfect. That's why I can't hear.
So this isn't the first time we've run across budget shortfalls. When we had COVID and the federal government gave us ESSER dollars, they were only good for so many years. And when it came time to make a $2 million budget cut, we started at the top with different things. But as of now, we have this 5-year strategic plan that you as a community came together to help us put together. And you said, these are our top priorities for our school district. So any funding cuts that may arise, I would expect that we would address them together as a board using this community-driven 5-year strategic plan as our guide, making sure that we continue to apply for grants, which we've been doing a lot of. We have new reader boards at Sky Valley, which are fabulous. To save money, we get creative to preserve our staff and important student resources Being fiscally responsible now and ensuring we have a healthy fund balance will also help by allowing us to offset any future funding loss that might occur. Given how well our district has handled our finances and continues to, I have no doubt that together we'll be able to deal with any issues that arise.
Okay, next we're going to go with mayor question. How can Monroe as a, I'm going to start with Heather, and then we'll go to Patsy. How can Monroe as a city support and grow MHS, Monroe High School, FFA programs, and local agriculture in general in Monroe? And I know this sounds like a Monroe School District question, but the person that submitted it, because we did get questions submitted anonymously, they specifically addressed this to mayoral candidates. That's why this one's in here.
As a Bearcat myself, I have a fondness for MHS. I think it would be awesome if we had the different organizations within the high school being very visible in the city. We have all sorts of city space that can be a part of. I know that we've had an amazing farmers market going on. That is a perfect place for us to see more of the high school and all of their different organizations being part of our community. We really need to just remember that we are all part of the same community and get involved in each other's interests. If you have an interest in FFA, be a mentor to someone who is already there. You do not need to be a school volunteer. You just be a part of community together. I actually think that we do a good job of that already, but there's always room for improvement.
Patsy, same question.
Yeah, that would be great.
How can Monroe as a city support and grow Monroe High School FFA programs and local agriculture in general in Monroe?
Okay, thank you. First, that's really important, I think, in the history of Monroe and the future of Monroe is having farmland. I love it that we are surrounded by farmland, and I think that needs to be protected. When I sat on council, there was some farmland that came to council to develop, and there was a lot of people in the community that did not want that for varying reasons. And I was a council member who said, no, we can't develop that area. So I think that's very important to preserve our farmland. And then it comes down to partnerships, working with the school district and finding out what does it take to have FFA there and to grow it, and how can the city support that. So I would need to talk with the school district, talk with farmers, go, what is the need? How can we work together in order to promote this very important program? Thank you.
We're going to go with City Council next. And we'll start down on Brandy, since the microphone's down there. Okay. Why does zoning let a few businesses monopolize?
Yeah, it's a dumb
This
one.
is the one that we said.
That might be another one we threw out too. Yeah, these
We're
are
gonna
the ones
do-
we threw out, sorry, they were trash.
There was a couple that we decided because
They were really, really vague, and they're really kind of, you couldn't do it in a minute.
they were more of statements
Yeah, they
instead
were
of
statements.
questions, so. How do you plan to involve residents in the decision-making process in our town?
One way is by encouraging them to submit comments, either written or oral, make sure that they know about surveys that go out. The city's been good really recently about not just doing the minimum for notifications, but trying to send out information to people about surveys and maybe land use that's going to change in their area that could affect them. But I find that when I talk to someone and mention it to them, that kind of engages them a little bit more. So let's see, also there's committees and boards that throughout the city that need members, and getting involved like that is a really good start to being able to know what's going on in all the different areas and to have their input. City really, we want to do what the community members are telling us they want. So speak up and let us know what it is so we can take care of it.
Love it.
Kevin, same question.
Could you repeat it?
I sure can. How do you plan to involve residents in the decision-making process in our town?
I think we have done an excellent job of involving them, being at the farmers markets. We have city booths that are there at the different events throughout the parks, trying to get, and that's how we came up with the Imagine Monroe statement, was getting all that feedback from the community. And so I think that as we continue to do that, we purchased that property downtown to develop that. And we had pop-ups all over asking those questions. Tell us what you want us to do with this. What's your goal? We took polls. And so I think we're doing a great job, and we're just going to continue doing that.
Tammy?
Thank you. I agree. I think we've done a great job trying to foster those connections with people. One of the ideas I have, concur with what Brandy and Kevin just said, I would really like to take our city council meetings on the road and do a road show, because sometimes, even though we've got this beautiful new chambers, senior center, schools, let's get out in the community and take city council meetings to where people gather. That's easy for them to participate. I also, Linwood City Council just adopted a youth council. I would love to get younger voices involved in decision making, and elders in our community as well. So whether that's like a school board person, high school board liaison, we could do something like that for council. I really like that idea. And then Monroe Listens is a wonderful option for people on our website. They often come to me and tell me about things, and I say, get on Monroe Listens. It's actually available on our website. You can click on it. Whatever you have to say. It doesn't have to be a complaint, it could be a comment. And then there is a record with the city. And you have to say what you need, and the city has to get back to you. So that's a good way as well. Thank you.
Kyle, same question.
I love
I
your
sure
stand.
can. How do you plan to involve the residents in the decision-making process in our town?
Okay, so tonight, this is right in my wheelhouse. So I think that we do a really good job of it, agreeing with the other council members. There's a lot of things, there's kiosks that staff sets up around the city where you can have input. Obviously, somebody maybe thinks that we should improve on it, which I completely agree. So that is why my phone number is on my tie tonight. So to involve you, if you have questions, if you want to get involved, there's anything you want to do, you can call this number. So you can take a picture while I'm sitting up here, or you can rewatch it on YouTube. I am more than happy to talk with anyone about any of the things that are going on in the city. I think it's a great way to do outreach, and I think we're just going to continue doing all of these things. How much time do I have left?
18 seconds.
Okay, real quick, some of the things that have come through council, and we have hired some companies at some certain times to go out and do outreach for us and kind of get some data for us. We have actually corrected them saying this isn't good enough, you need to go out again before. So that's how serious we take it. Thank you.
Write down this second.
You want to repeat the question?
Oh.
The tie.
No. Is this mayoral?
This is mayoral question.
Why is my piece?
No. So you don't have to like.
You don't have your phone on, right?
No, I got it chilled.
Just
Okay.
asking.
We're going to start with Patsy. If you received a $1 million grant to use for the city in any way you wanted, what would you do with it and why?
Okay, thank you. So since this is a one-time grant, I think one thing's important, that this is a one-time grant. So it's important to think about, these would be for one-time purchases. I wouldn't think that this would go towards an ongoing operational expense. So that would be something first. Immediately, I would put it in a capital reserve fund and have it start earning interest, right? In the sweep account or in a T-bill, you got to make that money earning interest, knowing that there's probably not going to be a project for at least a couple of years. So have it earn interest. Then look at the comp plan, the strategic priorities plan. Look there first. Those were built with a lot of community involvement. So what does that plan say? And then, as other council members talked about, surveying the community members. What do they want? What do they need? And then you analyze the project, cost benefit. What is it going to bring to the city? What is it going to cost? And then it would go to community committees, and then council, and then it's a collaboration. Whoops, there you go.
After the 10th beat, I sing, so you don't,
I don't want to.
you don't want to hear that.
Heather, same question. Do you need it repeated?
No, I haven't. Thank you very much. I know that to you and I, $1 million is a lot. To a city, it's not as much. And so I started thinking, $1 million, what could you do with $1 million? Well, we have one park that is the one that everyone thinks of. It's our amazing star, right? It's Lake Ty. Well, there's another park that is a treasure for us, and that is Al Borland Park. And it's 90 acres, it's gorgeous, it's better than any forest that I've seen. We have one problem, we don't feel safe there. And there is one thing that I would love to do with $1 million, because I've asked our Parks Department, what can we do to trim up the trees? What can we do to trim up the bushes? Can we make everything visible so we don't end up with encampments? That's what I would do with $1 million. I'd spend it cleaning up one of our amazing treasures that we've had in our city since it was started.
School. Yeah, council, the mayor, school.
So now we're going to start the school board. We're going to start with Molly.
I got the easy job tonight, I'm liking this.
I'm reading a lot.
You keep going.
Safety and security is a big area of interest both nationally and locally. What are some things you would like to see happen in this area over the next 4 years?
So this is something we've been talking a lot about, especially as we're considering running a bond in 2026. In this, we have addressed safety and security issues. I'd love to see secure vestibules at every single one of our schools. I would love 1-point access points in every single one of our schools. A lot of them have it now. You buzz in, there's a camera, they have to open the front door through the office. But not every school has it. And the other thing that I think is really big is I would love to sit down and have a conversation with the rest of the school board about this, but I would love to increase our school resource officers from 1 to 2, because I believe the safety of our students, especially at our high school, is paramount, and that we should have an SRO up there at all times with another one that can rove around the other schools as needed. They provide so much for our school, and they're very much appreciated, but these are just some of the basic things that come to the top of my mind when I think about safety and security of our students.
Heather, same question. Do you need it repeated?
No, thank you, I'm good.
So this has been a focus area for me in working with the district over the last several years. I discovered that there wasn't a safety plan for students with disabilities. The training that was being given to staff was, in the event of an emergency, abandon the disabled children and tell the firemen where to find them. And if you think I'm making that up, talk to any special education teacher, because I've heard from many of them that that was verbatim the training. So that's not acceptable. I worked with the district admin to create a safety plan so that all students and staff can be safely evacuated in the event of an emergency. Another aspect I think is important when it comes to safety would be paraeducators, because they really can help students, especially when they're struggling.
Thank you. So now we're going to go with City Council. Let's start with Kyle.
All right. I mean, I've started twice, but who's keeping track?
Can you address your views on panhandling in Monroe and what you would like to do about it in the city?
Yes, you give me a really good complicated one. So First Amendment right, first of all, that is a First Amendment right is to be able to panhandle. So we have to dance around it a bit. So aggressive panhandling is something that you can't do, that is unlawful, so you can be arrested for that, whether you are on public land or private land. The next step is getting the panhandlers off of private land would be having a trespass in place for the police to be able to trespass them from private property, which we do have. Any business owners here, it's online, you can fill it out. If you're not there, then the police can come in and trespass those people without you being there. Comes into, a little bit of a sticky wicket when they're on public land. The good thing is we have a ton of public resources and services in our city that we have all worked really, really hard to establish. So if someone is confronted by a police officer or someone who wants to help, there are all kinds of services for them to get better. But as far as the Second Amendment right, that's a tough one to get around. So don't hand out things, and we have services for them if they want to get better.
Thank you. Tammy, same question.
Thank you. I agree with everything Kyle just said. Absolutely, it's a protected First Amendment right. That being said, we do have a variety of programs in our community to help people that are finding themselves in need, in an uncomfortable situation that maybe leads them to feel that they need to panhandle or ask for help. We pride ourselves on that. It's called the Monroe Way, and we have all worked hard as a council to create a safety net for these people. So I would say if that is going on, please reach out, speak up, call law enforcement if needed, but same with the Monroe Listens. Let us know what's going on. Please communicate. Don't just say, gosh, this is a nuisance, and don't do anything about it. We need to know that this is going on in our community, and let's keep those communications channels open so that we know about it and can address their needs. Thank you.
Kevin.
I'm not going to repeat what they've said because it's basically, I concur with everything that they've said. I used to serve on the Employees Community Fund of Building Puget Sound board, where we gave out grants to organizations all over the Puget Sound. And most of those were the Health and Human Services, where there are the resources available. I've personally gone to all sorts of nonprofits around this whole county and Puget Sound, and there are tons of resources available. It's just a matter of pointing people to the right direction. And I feel like our city does a great job with that, with our embedded social worker program.
Brandy.
Okay. The only different things that I'll say is that I think it makes everyone sad to see people in our community that have to resort to begging for food and water and money. And if anyone has like suggestions or want to be part of collaborating on solutions, we do have, the City of Monroe has Community Human Services Advisory Board. They would take comments either in person or written, or you could see about joining their group. I can see where with business owners, this would be possibly a nuisance or a hindrance to their business. So again, like Kyle said, they have avenues that they can follow as far as calling the police for aggressive panhandling. But again, trying to collaborate with more people to make sure that everybody does know of the services and that we are providing as many as we think we are.
Thank you. So another question for the mayor candidates, mayoral candidates.
Did I get one or you want another one?
No, it's good. I was seeing. That's you went first.
Free some away.
I'm trying to remember where I left off is what I was trying to do. So Patsy started last time, so we'll start with you, Heather. That's what I started.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the transportation options currently available in our city? Can all of our residents affordably get where they need to go? If not, what would you want to do to improve transportation in our city?
We were waiting to see. First of all, we are a very unique city because we have our 3 highways going through town. And so that means that a lot of the things that we think, man, these are traffic problems, they are traffic problems, but they aren't city traffic problems. So a close interaction with the state is vital for us to keep traffic moving. We do have good relationships with our electeds at Olympia, I personally have very good relationships with them. So keeping our voice going there. Now, city roads are where we come in. And we have been doing a great job of repairing cities. The Transportation Benefit District has done all sorts of projects around town. We keep everything repaired and moving, but you choose how to motate. And we have been, we have the legalized ATVs happening in town. We've got scooters all over. I'm on Main Street, I see them all the time. Walking, biking, driving, we got all sorts of options.
No, I've got the question. Thank you. So transportation, incredibly important, as Heather said. You know, we live in a city that has 3 major highways that come into the city. It's really important to help people get to work and get to where they need to go. So a couple things I would focus on is Transportation Benefit District, continue to fund projects. Continue to have that revenue stream so we can improve roads, sidewalk, trails, very important. Ensure that development pays for their portion of improving traffic and roads, very important. Continue to work with community transit on expanding bus routes. I sat on community transit as an alternate. They see Highway 9 as east. We are east. There is more east past Highway 9. And then continue to work with local nonprofits to provide services for seniors. We support the bus that moves seniors around and gets them to where they need to be. We need to continue to do that and have options to get seniors where they need to be. Thank you.
Thank you. So next is school board. So we'll start with Heather. How will you build trust and engage with all parents and community members, especially those who feel unheard by the current leadership?
So this is actually one of the reasons that I chose to run for school board, because I am one of those parents who has been trying desperately to connect with the district, and it's frustrating. If you go to school board meetings and you speak during public comment, that's not true engagement. Before COVID, the board used to have meetings with the public where they would have interactions. People could make suggestions, the board could ask questions, and there was a true dialogue happening. They don't do that anymore. They used to read the comments that had been submitted by email at the meeting so that we were all aware of what was coming in. They don't do that anymore. I think that it is critically important for us to have conversations, especially when we don't agree, because we have more in common than we think.
Thank you. Molly.
So for me, to build trust with parents, being one myself, you have to be present, you have to be kind, you have to show you care, and you have to be available to have conversations. This means, for me, visiting a school at least once weekly with the superintendent to make sure that I am engaging with our students and our staff that are there so that I know what's going on. This also means being present at community events put on by the city and our school district, and attending many sporting events throughout the school year to support our student athletes. Being available to engage with parents, guardians, and staff members in all of these settings is very important, and something I genuinely love doing. So many of the things we as a district have been able to accomplish over the last 4 years is because of the trust and relationships we have built with parents, guardians, staff, and members of the community. Many of these staff members are also parents of children in our district. It takes all of us together. And just a side note, if you feel unheard, please reach out. I'll go for coffee, tea, whatever you want. No one should feel unheard.
Oh.
Start.
College time.
We'll start with Randy. Start at this end.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to decide.
Oh,
because some of the questions because we're doing, some of them are mayor, so I'm going back to the ones you sent out. What is your vision for the future of Monroe?
My vision. I'd like to see the downtown and US 2 connected through walking bridges to be able to make it safer for people to bike and walk. I'd like to see a lot more biking and walking in town. I think we have a vibrant community, like a lot of healthful activities, and that's just like a really clear representation of that when you see that. So the city should help to facilitate that. Also with paths and trails for you to be able to get around. And continuing with the path that we have where about inclusion and belonging, similar to the school district's mission, and it's in the Imagine Monroe. We are constantly growing as a community, and folding new people into our community is something that I think we're actually pretty good at. We've been doing for a long time, so I'd like to see us continue to do that. I'm hopeful for Monroe. I think Monroe just has a good energy about it, and that we're future forward thinking.
Kevin, same question.
Thank you. I love our Imagine Monroe vision that we came up with from your input. And so I think we're doing a great job. I agree with that, Blair. I have been a big proponent of being able to cross the railroad crossings and Highway 2, either underneath or overhead. So we've gone to DC a couple different times and met with House Department of Transportation and rail officials there, trying to get funding and trying to get a way to make it so that we can get across those railroad tracks and not have our city divided like that. I'd love to see the downtown area continue to grow, especially with this new lot that we purchased and with your input and with whatever we end up deciding to do with that. I would love to see that as well. Yeah, thanks.
Tammy.
Thank you. So I would like to see people coming together. I would like to see people stepping outside their homes, breaking free of social media and screens, talking to each other on the street, in their neighborhoods, in the grocery store, at the YMCA during your workout, at city events. Who are your neighbors? What do you share in common? Who can you count on in an emergency? I hope that we can come together as a community, all religions, all political beliefs, and realize that we are all just walking each other home. In addition, I would love for there to be continued downtown revitalization, interesting businesses and restaurants that draw people into our downtown. Big advocate for getting kids and families and adults out recreating, riding their bikes around. You know, big deal to me is making this a more bike and pedestrian friendly city. We've done a lot with lighted crosswalks, and pedestrian safety is a huge focus for our council. But let's get out there and talk to each other.
Kyle, same question.
So yes, I agree, completely get out there and talk to each other, more calming. No, my vision for the future for Monroe is truly everybody being able to talk to each other. We talked a little bit about getting off screens. That's been one of our big pushes. To be kind to each other and to move through this wonderful little city freely. I have said many times that as soon as people discover how awesome Monroe is, we're in big trouble because they're going to come here by the thousands. So we'll try and control that with our comp plan, just so you know. Pedestrian safety is a huge thing. I think the city is doing a great job. Unfortunately, we have to keep advocating to the state and the federal government about other improvements because we just can't make those improvements on our own. Downtown activation. So I would love to see our alleys become more activated. I picture lights, street lights, people can sit and eat and have conversations and a lot of other things. But I'm out of time, so call me.
We are going to ask the mayoral candidates the same question. What is your vision for Monroe? We'll start with Patsy.
Thank you. So on my campaign material, it says connected, safe. And when I was out talking to people, doorbelling and at events, they were like, shouldn't it be safe and connected? And I said, no, it's purposely connected, safe. Because when you are connected to your neighbors, when you're connected to government, when you're connected to your school district, when you're connected to each other, you feel safe. So I think it's really important that we work on that. You know, I want a unified community, not divisive. I want respect for our neighbors where differences are celebrated, not condemned. I think a thriving, vibrant community with downtown booming people, businesses, organizations working together. You know, we can have the best community when we work together. So I think we want to keep this community feeling small, but still have tons of services that we offer for everyone. Thank you.
Heather's question. That was an excellent answer. Thanks, Patsy. In the word community is the word unity. And I think it is important that we do learn to talk to each other, exactly like you said. There are so many opportunities that we think we don't get along with people, and then if we sit down and we talk to them, we do. And I'm just gonna keep hammering that. I don't even offer Wi-Fi in my shop for one reason, and that is because I want people to talk to each other. So, when in doubt, ask someone what their pet is. You know, I mean, we all are just humans inside of here. We aren't just what we have been told we are by the federal government or whatever t-shirt we have on. There is more unity in us than we realize.
Someone's getting a bonus 2 seconds.
Politicians talk too much.
So we're going to go with school board, so we'll start with Molly.
He needs his little glasses. Oh.
What are the top needs of the school district?
So this again is something we've been talking about a lot recently, talking about the bond that we're hoping to run in 2026. We desperately need a new building for Sky Valley, and that comes to the top of my mind because that is where all 3 of my students attend, and it is one of the oldest buildings in our school district that is used as a school building. We need new roofing on many of our buildings. We need updated safety and security things. We need more things for special education. We need so many different things right now. Other renovations to other schools, updating of Memorial Field so that it can be usable and safe for the athletic organizations in town that service our youth, like the Monroe Football Youth Association. We need more gym space to service our select basketball teams and other indoor sports teams because we are running so very short on those spaces. So when I think about our current needs, these are all the things that come to mind.
Thank you. Excellent answer, Molly. Those are all the things that I know have been covered in recent school board meetings. The only thing I think that you missed was the HVAC for the high school, but I mean, it's like the list is the list. Beyond the things that the bond would cover and the replacement for Sky Valley, I would say I want to see our district do more to fully embrace the trades and increase opportunities for the trades. My son was extremely lucky to be able to attend Snow Isle, which is a tremendous program, but it's all the way out in Mukilteo, Everett area. We should be doing more to make opportunities available for students who want to pursue the trades.
Please. Close. Good.
Remember, don't start it until I start.
I haven't.
Come on, city council.
I got one job. Come on.
You all are missing the comment.
So I'm going to start with Kevin. I'm going to shake it up a bit. So we're going to start in the middle.
Oh, there you go, it's on.
Why are you running for council?
Well, I answered that earlier, but I truly love Monroe. I love serving with council. I love to be able to work together. I've had the privilege of serving with former Councilor Cutback when I first got on council for years, and now Kyle and Tammy and Heather for years, and looking forward to Brandy, hopefully. For me, you're good, but yeah, I love being able to. Some of us went. Actually, I think you hosted, the Chamber of Commerce hosted the Jared Mead, Nate Nearing presentation where they talked about working across the aisle, building bridges and all that, and that's like exactly what we have. I feel like we've been doing in Monroe on council for years. And it's cool to see them doing it now on the county council, so that's it.
Let's go to Brandy next.
I'm running because I feel like I can help collaborate and bring ideas together with the group that's already there. I think I have connections throughout the community that aid me in hearing different perspectives, both from longtime residents, because I am a 5th generation Monroe resident, so I have a lot of people that I know in town from that. And then I have children in the Monroe School District, so I have, people I know from that, working in Monroe, and just being an involved community member. And so I'm hoping to be able to engage more people in those different groups, to have them be heard, their opinions heard for decisions that the council is making, and increase our attendance to some meetings, maybe. All right, thanks.
Tammy, same question.
Are you ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
So it has been talked about up here tonight that our council is really a well-functioning, effective council. And one of the reasons that is because we all bring different perspectives and backgrounds. For instance, I'm a substitute teacher in the district in addition to my full-time job as a PR manager. I've been a coach for 13 years, and I've been on the Monroe Historical Society board for 20, 2 terms as past president. I bring all of that to council. We have other people sitting up there that have all sorts of varied backgrounds, and together we make a great team because we all have these different views. I really believe that makes us strong and allows us to make good policy. I'm just going to read 4 quotes or 4 sayings from people that I admire, and when you ask why I'm running for council, here we go. Mahatma Gandhi, be the change that you want to see in the world. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, fight for the things you care about, but do it in a way that inspires others to join you. JFK, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. And last but not least, Margaret Mead, never underestimate the power of a small group of committed people to change the world. In fact, it is the only thing that ever has. So our council is trying to do just that. Thank you.
You what?
Good. Gotta make it green.
What
though.
is
I have to say that is
Make it
worthy of a
green.
clap. You're right. Those are great. I think those are all statements that all of us should live by. Kyle.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Feel free
Hey,
to
you have your
feel free
phone
to keep
number, I
laughing.
think.
Thank you. Number 1, I love Monroe. That's why I'm running again for this position. You can see I have the hat on that doesn't match the rest of my attire. But there are a lot of things that I absolutely love about Monroe, and that's why I ran first, was just to keep those things going. Now that I've been doing this for a while, I see some things that I want to change. And again, referring to Councilmember Beaumont, we are a small group that will make some really good change. Some of those changes for me are our park trespass ordinances. The other thing is activation of downtown. So I think downtown needs to be activated. Going downtown, traveling through downtown and seeing boards on windows doesn't really actually say, hey, come down here and shop. We have a really, really awesome downtown. So those are some things that I really, really want to change. I kind of got into this position with Homeless Policy Advisory Committee, on Planning Commission, and also the Boys and Girls Club. I just wanted to get more involved.
We're gonna do 2 more questions, and then you will each have 2 minutes to closing comments. So, this is for mayoral candidates, so we'll start with Heather. Many of our neighborhoods are congested with massive parked cars and in many areas, general junk or garbage in yards. We didn't write the question. Driveways and the streets. What is the city going to do to clean up this deal?
So one thing you need to know about code enforcement is that it is complaint driven. That means if there is a car in your neighborhood that the tires are flat, there's clearly some buildup on it, that thing has been there for a while. That is up to you as a neighborhood person to call that in. We need to know about it, and we don't act on it unless we hear about it from you. So please be involved. This is your city. When it comes to junky yards, first thing I'm thinking of is, it's your neighbor. Why don't you ask them if you can help? Secondly, we do have code enforcement on all those things too, but one of my favorite stories from our former code enforcement officer was he called on a house that needed some help. He told the guy, hey, you really need to get your stuff together. What he did was he found out that guy didn't know how to mow his lawn. So he came and he helped. We are a community of helping. So step in there, be a part of the solution, not just a complainer.
Patsy, same question.
Yeah, thank you. I've got to stand up. Sorry, I'm not used to sitting.
You are
so
more than
much.
welcome to stand if you're more comfortable standing.
Yeah, it's easier. Thank you. So I love that be part of the solution and find out kind of what's going on with your neighbors. I think that's crucial. You know, when you're trying to build common ground and you're trying to have respect for your neighbors and build a community, I think it's important to know what's going on. Definitely code enforcement, so contacting your city and going, what can we do here? Also, is this an HOA problem? Is it a problem for the HOA to look at and get together and see if there's an avenue there that can be worked? And then, you know, gather with your neighbors. So probably a month and a half ago, we decided to clean up an encampment off of Woods Creek Road. We got a bunch of neighbors and we cleaned it up, and it took about 6 hours, and it was a joint effort. And Kyle Fisher brought his dump truck and we took it to the dump. So there is a lot we can do together to improve our community. Thank you.
This is school board.
What did you eat for breakfast?
So funny. Such a comedian. Heather, we'll start with you. Can you explain where the money to fund our schools comes from?
So taxes, obviously. There is something that's called the prototypical model, and I mean, I can explain it, but it's rather boring in terms of the number of full-time equivalent students and the allocations that come from the state and the federal government. There's different colors of money that can only be used for certain things. There's also grants, there's levy monies, there's bond. So there are a lot of different places. Some of those things have restrictions on them. So like during COVID, we could use the ESSER dollars for a lot of things, but then you can't use your Title I funds for, you know, building a new building. So it really depends upon which color of money, as we used to call it, we're talking about, but I think one of the things is we just don't have enough of it.
Molly, same question.
So one of the nice things about the Monroe School District is we have an amazing Chief Financial Officer, Brenda Hunt, and we have an amazing communications team made up of Aaron Zaccarda and Tamara Krejci. And together with our Budget Advisory Committee, we put out the annual community guide to the budget every single year. If you log on to www.monroe.wednet.edu and hit the About tab and go down to budget, you can look at this right at home with me. And if you go to page 8 of this, we have a graph and a breakdown of where every piece of funding for the Monroe School District comes from. Local taxes is about 15.5%. Local non-taxes is 3.5%. State general purpose, 55%. State special purpose funds are almost 20%.
Federal, general, and specials, 4%, it goes on. And we also have a lot of explanations of just what some of the terms mean. So I would encourage everybody to go and look this up if you have questions.
Yeah, we're good. We're got plenty. 6:07. We're done.
Okay, so thank you all for answering all these questions. There's been a lot of questions thrown at you. Some of you knew, some of them we didn't know about. So thank you for participating. We appreciate
Amazing
it.
job.
Did an amazing job. So now we're gonna go down the row. Actually, I'm gonna just pick on you. And then you'll have 2 minutes. Mike has a timer. You have 2 minutes for your closing statement. And you can let us know anything that you didn't cover. You have 2 minutes to cover it. So, let's start with
Yes.
Tammy.
Okay. Thank you, Katie. And again, I really appreciate this opportunity to share thoughts and to see some new faces in the audience, and we're available after to chat. So the world, the state, our community has been through a lot recently. There's been a lot of divisiveness. So I am going to leave this forum on a positive note, an uplifting note, and a hopeful note. And I want you to close your eyes and picture all these wonderful things that go on in our community that we can take pride in. National Night Out, Take the Next Step community dinners, the Senior Car Parade, cricket games at Frank Wagner Elementary and Lake Ty, people dancing at Music in the Park, a Miracle League game, an all ages, all abilities run club at Route 2 Tap Room every Monday, the Farmers Market, our fair and parade, the Pride, Belonging, and Juneteenth events, the Jamie Bindle, Casey Elbrock, and Flags for Our Fallen runs, cars tearing it up at Evergreen Speedway, a unity event and a Charlie Kirk memorial on the same weekend in our city with some of the same people appearing at both. Thank you.
I'm gonna go with Brandy.
This is 2 minutes, right?
Yes, 2
Okay,
minutes.
just wanna make sure.
I'm thankful that I had this opportunity to have my face out there and meet you guys. And I want to just reiterate that I want to do things that I want to hear your input, and so that I can know which way to go on just decisions that I'm going to be looking forward to being able to make. And please reach out to me. My email and phone will be on the city's website. Some of my passions before we close is youth mental health. Like Tammy had said, our community's been through a lot, and the kids are kind of showing us that. And so I would really like to see us work towards helping with that and collaborate with the different agencies that are already working towards it. And let's see, sounds like a lot of us are interested in the pedestrian safety, so you'll probably see some changes there. And just the impact that any decisions that we make, just know that I do think first about the people who already live here. Like, how is this going to affect them? All right, thank you.
Kyle.
Here, give you mine. Because I don't need it, because I'm done asking questions.
All right, closing statement. As you can see, we have a lot of really wonderful people up here. Some of us have different views than the other. We've talked a lot about unity. It is incredibly important that we all come together. And for you also out there to remember that every person up here is really just you. I mean, we are all the same people. So just making sure that we treat each other with kindness, we treat each other with forgiveness, we're accepting of each other as individuals, and we move through this. We really do have an amazing community. I mean, I wouldn't still be here if it wasn't. I'd be gone. I chose to come here. First of all, I came here, I had to, because my mom lived here and I was obviously a teenager. But then I chose to come back. And when I was a teenager, I don't think that I really realized why I was here. I know I was this teenage kid growing up in a small town. But then as I got older, I was able to quantify those things. The reasons why I wanted to come back. And the reasons why I wanted to come back was because of all of you that are in the stands, this community, our river, close to the mountains, but most importantly, the community, and you all are amazing. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to come here and listen to us. And again, I can't say it enough, please reach out if you have questions, if you have ideas, please reach out. I'm retired. I retired a year and a half ago from the fire service for 30 years. So I've got some time. Give me a call and we can discuss things and keep this community moving forward. Thank you. You're next. Oh.
Heather Young, we're going to go with you next.
I just want to thank everyone again for being here tonight and for your attention and the fact that you are so engaged in the upcoming election. It's so important. I've never done anything like this before. I never even ran for like class president or something in high school. And so while I don't have a lot of experience in doing things like this, I do have a lot of experience with very large, very complex budgets and projects. And if we are successful with the upcoming bond and the effort to replace Sky Valley with a new building, that's something that I think could be of great benefit to the district to help avoid expensive, unexpected bills and surprises that are very common when you're dealing with those kinds of projects. I love big challenges, that's why I'm running. I want to bring fresh blood to the board. I think that bringing Sean Woodward, the new superintendent, into the district has been a tremendous improvement. I've worked with him as a parent, as a community member on the strategic plan. I was part of the team that created the budget guide that Molly was talking about earlier. So I've been working to make things better from the outside, but there are some things that you can only really do when you have a seat at the table. So I'm hoping with your support that we can bring some fresh blood and also some decades of experience to the board for the betterment of our school district. Thank you.
You're good.
Molly.
I just want to again say thank you so much for being here tonight. It's because of your partnerships that we're able to accomplish all that we have in the last 4 years in the Monroe School District. We truly could not do it without each and every one of you. I sit up here as just an extension of you, but it takes a village to do all of these things and to ensure that our students can be successful. It takes all of us. I'm looking forward to, hopefully in the next 4 years if reelected, continuing these important partnerships with you, with our staff, with our students, our parents, guardians, community, ensuring that all of our staff and teachers are supported and given all the tools that they need to provide a high-quality education for every student. I am looking forward to continuing to provide multiple pathways for learning for our students, which includes, starting next year, we're doing a certified nursing assistant program with the help of Evergreen Health right here in Monroe to offer another CTE pathway for our students to learn and have a job right out of high school. Intro to the trades is next after that, followed by cybersecurity and project management. We're also looking at bringing Snow Isle Skills Center into Monroe if everything goes well. If you haven't taken the survey yet, please take it. Let us know your opinion on that. I am looking forward to continuing to celebrate our students and the amazing things that they are achieving and doing all of the time. I am also looking forward to continually being fiscally responsible with the money that every single one of you entrusts this district with. And that money is going to go to ensure that our students can be successful in whatever it is that they choose, that they receive a high-quality education here, and that we continue to improve their educational outcomes. It's truly an honor and a joy to serve you, our staff, our students, community, and to sit in the seat on the school board. And I hope I get to continue to do it. Thank you.
Patsy.
Thank you for being here. This has been an honor. So I didn't really get into why I was running, so I want to take some time in my closing statement to say that. I was on council for 12 years, and I thought, okay, that is time to serve, and it was time to maybe give someone else an open seat to run. Tammy Beaumont called me and said, hey, I'm thinking of running. What do you think? And I said, great, run for my seat. It's time for me to do something else. So I was happy that she ran and won that election. During my time off, I didn't know I would be here right now at this point. I graduated my son from Western, my daughter graduated from Cascadia with her AA and from Monroe High School, and we got her into college. And so we're empty nesters. So of course I'm thinking, what's next? How do I serve? What's my path? What do I need to do to help the community? And, Jeffrey Thomas, our mayor, current mayor, reached out to me a year ago and said, hey, I'm not going to run. Will you think about running? And I really deeply thought about it, because that's not an easy decision. I know what the commitment is. I know I have to earn it. I know how much work it would be. And to be honest, I love it. I have been doorbelling. I have been out talking to people, and all types of people in all different neighborhoods. We have an amazing community, and I look forward to working hard for the community, and I will continue to earn it every day after I'm elected, and make sure that I continue to listen to people, have a great council that I work collaboratively with, and really do what's best for the city and have it unified, nonpartisan, not divisive. That's my hope for this city. So thank you very much.
Heather.
That was the pre-beep. Thank you.
You're already done.
When I first came into council chambers back in 2016, it was because I was a business owner, and I wanted to have some information about what was happening in our city and the ordinances that affected me, not only as a citizen, but as the business owner. I watched for 3 years before I finally threw my hat into the ring, and I have been a part of making ordinances that actually work for the people who have to live them out. I think it's very important for those of us who are in the city all day to have a voice in what happens. And that is one of my things that I offer to you, is that I am accessible all day long. I live, I work. It's all in 98272, my favorite zip code. You know where to find me. I think we need a change of mindset at City Hall. And our council members need to be able to be set free a little bit more, to interact more with our staff, our wonderful staff. You guys should know the people who work at City Hall. They are amazing. They could take bigger jobs somewhere else in the private industry, but instead they choose to be public servants. And some of those amazing public servants are our Monroe Police Department. They need to feel more supported. They need to know that it's okay to be out there and be visible in the city. I have support among the police department, but I also have the endorsement of the firefighters union here. I am the true public safety candidate, and I want to invite you all to become involved. We meet every second, third, and fourth Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. It's 3 minutes of open mic night. Come on and use it. It's more than I'm getting right now. That 2 minutes that's shutting down, you get 3 minutes when you show up. Your voice is magnified. Be there.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to the candidates.
How about Kevin? Oh,
I thought I started with Kevin.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's why Mike was keeping me on task, because my.
I was.
I apologize. I thought I started with you, so I'm
That's
sorry,
okay.
Kevin. Okay.
I get double time, right?
I'm not even starting the clock.
Sorry.
No, Katie, don't worry about it.
He's so short.
Yeah, it's so short.
Sorry.
I love this community. I've said that many times. First of all, the last time that we had one of these, I think was maybe 8 years ago that was in the old Rock Church building.
Yeah.
And so I participated in that. And so this was wonderful. I love to see our community out here. I love to be able to see people that actually care enough to spend their time down here, not just watching a movie, no offense, James, but also hearing from the people that you're going to be voting for. I think, as Heather said, we have at our meetings, it's pretty rare that people come to our meetings, and sometimes that's a good thing, right? Because there's no conflict or there's nothing that really needs to be addressed. And other times it's like, boy, the 7 of us are just trying to do the very best that we can. I'm just a dad living in Monroe and trying to do the best that I can, trying to make good decisions. And without your input, if you don't show up at council to say, I think this park is a good idea, or I think this park is a bad idea, then we're left to our own devices. And so we love it. I can speak for all the council that we love it when you come out and use up the 3 minutes, or at least part of it, and state what your passion is or why you're there. And I've said that multiple times at council meetings. Thank you for coming. We love that you're here. You need to know that this council, and I think you've picked that up, but this council truly cares about you. So I appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Sorry. Okay, so thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time and participating, because I know this wasn't an easy thing for you all to do, so we want to say thank you. And I want to say thank you to everyone that is here for taking the time to come and listen to our forum, and I want to say thank you to the Chamber for putting this on. We do have to vacate this specific theater, but we can meet, if you have questions for any of the candidates or anything that you would like.
Thank you, Galaxy, for hosting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But if you have further questions or you want to just meet the candidates, we will be meeting out in the lobby if you like, just so that they have a movie showing here that we don't want to take up the space since there will be a movie. Jake is here, so I want to say thank you, Jake, and to James for allowing us to do this. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And thank you, Janelle, and your board for putting this on. I'm just a moderator.
As the president, you guys, I joke a lot, but
And
I was really impressed with all of you.
Thank you. I just have to say, I wasn't going to say anything. I am Janelle Drews, the Chamber Director of Monroe, and I just think so much of I just thank you so much for extending the invitation to be here today and to be put in the public eye and to run for office, because it's not easy. And I also want to say thank you so much to Katie Woods and Mike Buse and Lisa for also being moderators and helping, and also to my staff Jana and Francis for helping put this together. And thank you so much, Galaxy Theaters, and to every single one of you that came here today to listen and to learn from your city council and school board candidates, because they are the change that you will see in the next